Today we will be looking at the different sacred scriptures of Hinduism, namely the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Puranas. The Vedas, meaning knowledge in Sanskrit, are the oldest sacred scriptures of Hinduism, composed in archaic Sanskrit by Indo-European speaking peoples in northwest India. The Vedas are thought to have been passed down from generation to generation for centuries prior to being written down between 1500 BCE, 1200 BCE. Vedas are considered Sruti, what is heard, distinguishing them from other religious texts, which are called Shmarti, what is remembered. The Vedas include four main texts: the Rigveda, hymns to deities like Agni and Indra; the Samaveda, melodic chants; the Yajurveda, liturgical prose; and the Atharvaveda, spells and incantations. These texts focus on ritual practices, cosmic phenomena, and divine qualities. These four Vedas are then further divided into four more sections. 1. Samhitas, benedictions, prayers, mantras. 2. Brahmanas, commentaries on said rituals. 3. Aranyakas, rituals, observances. 4. Upanishads, philosophical narratives and dialogues. Moving along, we will now explore the Upanishads and their contributions to the evolution of religious thought within Hinduism. The Upanishads are late Vedic and post-Vedic Sanskrit texts that document the transition from the archaic ritualism of the Veda into new religious ideas and institutions. Upanishads focused on meditation, philosophy, consciousness, and ontological knowledge, whereas earlier Vedas dealt with mantras, benedictions, rituals, ceremonies, and sacrifices. Similar to the Vedas, the Upanishads were also orally transmitted across generations prior to being written down. They also belong to Shruti, that which is heard, texts imbued with divine revelation within the Hindu tradition. Upanishads explored profound spiritual concepts such as Brahman, the ultimate reality, and Atman, the soul. Notable Upanishads include the Chandogya, which discusses the unity of Atman and Brahman, and the Brihadaranyaka, which delves into the nature of existence and reality. The Upanishads came about between 800 BCE, 500 BCE, and marked the end of the Vedas, also known as Vedanta. The Upanishads marked a shift from ritualistic practices in earlier Vedic texts to more metaphysical and philosophical inquiry. The doctrine of true knowledge and salvation are major subjects of the Upanishadic philosophy. These treatises mark the culmination of the earlier line of investigation into the nature of ultimate reality. Taken together, the Vedas present a unified vision of the eternal order revealed by the universe and how one is supposed to live in it. This vision was developed through the school of thought known as Brahmanism, which recognized the many gods of the Hindu pantheon as aspects of a single god, Brahman, who both caused and was the universe. Further along the line, Puranas depicted Hindu literature through stories on Hindu legends and traditional lore. The Puranas, emerging after the Upanishads, are extensive Hindu texts that blend mythological stories with cosmological and theological themes. Several of these texts were named after major Hindu gods, such as Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. The Puranas encompass mythological stories, traditions, and legends about gods, goddesses, heroes, and the creation of the universe. There are 18 major Puranas, which are classified into three groups: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva Puranas. These 18 major Mukhya Puranas cover over 400,000 verses. The first versions of various Puranas were likely to have been composed between 350 CE, 1500 CE. A famous story found within the Bhagavata and Vishnu Purana is the story of Samudra Manthan, where the gods, Devas, and demons, Asuras, collaborated to churn the cosmic ocean, Kshira Sagara, using the serpent Vasuki in order to obtain the nectar of immortality, Amrita, from the ocean. Vishnu, the top Hindu deity in an enchanted form, intervened to ensure the Amrita was given only to gods, thereby restoring their power and immortality. The story symbolizes the interplay of cosmic forces and the importance of divine intervention in achieving balance. The Vedas laid the foundation for Hindu religious and philosophical thought, while the Upanishads provided a deeper metaphysical understanding. The Puranas, enriched with mythological narratives and detailed cosmologies, continued to influence Hindu worship and tradition. The interconnection between these texts reflects the evolving nature of Hinduism, from early ritualistic practices to complex philosophical and mythological explorations. I hope you learned something about Hinduism and its various sacred texts, what they stand for, their distinct purposes, and their impact on Hinduism. Until next time, take care.